Delete podcast. I am Ty Montier.
Okay, I'm Sean Lucas. You're gonna have to give us some more energy for episode 55.
I was going to say, I was looking for which episode it was. It's episode 50 motherfucking 5!
Hey.
Purr. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our 55th episode here of Download and Delete.
Welcome back.
Welcome in the room. Welcome in the room.
Right, look at this room.
I know.
Okay.
If you're looking from
Little
YouTube,
expansion.
we're in a different room. We're trying to, not let our legs and stuff show on the cam.
We got a
Like I
little
got
of
my hoochie
that Easter weight on us.
Child, I just got weight. 750-pound life.
Easter was like how many months ago? I'm talking about some Easter.
Right. Easter was in March. This here September.
We had to do ham. We had mac and cheese.
Right.
Is that what people eat?
Had too many brats on Thanksgiving. 4th of July.
Brats. We did have some brats. Is that like the standard fare for the 4th of July?
Well, brats is only like a Midwestern thing because like when you go like to different places, you can't even get brats.
What do they eat then? Ribs?
Hot dogs, burnt hot dogs, I call them brats. Well,
Too many things, but whatever.
too many.
You only live once.
As far as we know, you only live once.
Is that what people say to just make an excuse for
Right.
bad behaviors?
Let me go ahead and do that extra bump cocaine. You only live once. We do not endorse cocaine
No,
usage here
not
at
at all.
Download and Delete at all.
Now Molly? No, I'm just kidding.
Now Molly is a dumb chucker.
But why is Molly everywhere all the time?
Molly is in everybody's vocab. Is
Seriously.
Molly the new, what was that?
Ecstasy?
Quaalude? Or no, Molly is an upper.
Molly
Quaalude
is the
a
new
downer.
ecstasy, I think.
I think Molly and ecstasy are the same thing.
Or is Molly like a popper?
No,
I have no idea about drugs, y'all. As you can see, I'm
Me
old.
neither. I think Molly is green and ecstasy is white. No, I don't know. I haven't a clue about any of that stuff.
I'm sure someone could like break down the chemical makeup of all of the drugs for us, tell us why they're doing
If I knew the chemical breakdown of drugs, I probably would not ever want to do them. So maybe I should know the chemical breakdown of all drugs. Not that I do all drugs. I don't do any narcotics.
No narcotics.
No
Stay away.
barbiturates.
Say no
nothing.
drugs.
Say no to all of them.
Keep kids away.
But like every show, we like to start with a motivation moment.
Yes.
Not talking about drugs.
Motivated to not be high. All the time.
Dare against drugs. Drink a beer instead of doing drugs.
What did DARE stand for?
Drugs are really exciting for, I don't know. No, it was like
drug abuse
drug
resistance
abuse,
education.
enforcement,
No.
education.
Drugs
It was
are
Mothers
really
Against
exciting.
Drug Driving. That's mad. That's all I knew was mad.
You know what? See, those drugs took away your short-term memory, didn't they?
I don't know anything about any drugs. I am drug free.
Okay.
Just,
Okay, change the subject anyway. So you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, good. Better.
I am motivated by the season of summer is here. It's festival season. It's festival season. The season of festivals. So it's time people get out and just enjoy a festival. If it's an art fest, if it's a summer solstice fest, which is past.
Yeah, Summerfest last weekend was
Today. Yeah, Summerfest was so weird this time. They only did it Thursday, Friday,
They've
Saturday.
done that for the last, I thought, few years, haven't they?
Really?
Where it's just been weekends.
Well, I have never been, so
Mhm.
I haven't been to Summerfest since 2003.
I have not been, and I'm so anti.
No,
And,
the last Summerfest I went to was Juneteenth, and that was enough for me.
You went to Juneteenth this year?
Yes, and I hadn't been there since I was 12, and I won't be enjoying that anymore.
I heard it was nice though.
It was really nice before the melee happened at the end with the kids, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice, but it was so many people.
Mm.
I went to a Minnesota Pride 2 weeks ago, and it was so many people, but it was so many babies and kids and
Babies.
dogs. I'm like, why are there dogs and kids at a pride event? Leave all those animals, leave any restriction you have at home,
I mean,
is what I thought. And I
all
made a
dogs aren't
statement about that.
heterosexual, are they?
No, but it's just irritating to have to walk around dogs and it's a crowded place and you step back and it's a dog nose on your leg. It's a little. People are doing the most with these service animals now. Like, it's a service
Emotional
animal.
support animals.
Yes, like, okay, if you need that much emotional support, stay your ass at home. So I am motivated by the summer and the festivals of the summer and just enjoying the sunshine and some vitamin D, just enjoying life in general. So that's what I'm motivated by. How about you, Shana?
Yeah, that is very motivating. I'm with you on that one. I need to get out and enjoy some more of what the city has to offer so that I'm not just consuming everything negative about what's happening this summer. Because it seems like something about that hot weather that just makes people kind of go crazy, like people just start to turn up, turn up a little bit.
Girl,
So,
people turn up too much with
man,
liquor involved. If there's any drugs involved, people turn up.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just drink a water and put a little ice and lemon in there,
oh yeah.
or
Mhm.
drink some lemonade mixed with cranberry juice. Something
Something mild,
holistic.
clean out your system.
you know.
Right. So, but I like where you're going with that, and I wanted to talk about what is motivating me about all of the governance that's happening right now. So most of the um, branches of government are doing their thing right now. The Supreme Court was in session.
Girl, I
Right.
try to
Hmm.
not even think about what's going on in our Supreme
Yeah.
Court.
Right. So they just ended their session, I believe, or maybe they're ending it soon. Wisconsin State Legislature is finishing up a session, and then I think Congress, so the House just finished up too, maybe like a couple of weeks ago, and or they're about to return. I don't know. Everybody's doing their thing, but this week in Wisconsin, a couple of things happened. So, um, first of all, Tony Evers, our governor, who won re-election.
Yes.
Um, what last year or whatever, he uh, managed to increase funding for public schools for the next
Good job, Tony
400
Evers.
years.
400 years? Wow. In the state of Milwaukee,
In the state of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So the per pupil
Wow.
spending, will go up $325.
I'm sorry. That is a only because I think that is so important. That's what our kids need, and I
That's
believe
right.
the children are our future.
Well, and the thing about it is that there's a surplus, and so a lot of people in education were wondering why some of that money hasn't been directed to schools who need it so much, especially after COVID. And so there was a flood of federal dollars that came in because of COVID and the federal government's response to kids being out of school. They gave a bunch of millions of dollars, and what is called ESSER funds is um, one of the grants that schools received to address some of the gaps in learning from the pandemic. But the state was kind of like hoarding money in a surplus fund. But Governor Evers, they the we have a Republican-controlled legislature in Wisconsin, and so they created a budget. And so when he went to sign the budget, he did this thing that I feel like only Wisconsin governors, or maybe just a few governors across the country, have. But so the budget said 2024-25. What he did was he crossed out the hyphen and said that the end date for the funding would be 24-25. So the year 24-25. So he said that we will increase funding. This will remain until for 400 years. So he just crossed out the hyphen and just made it the year 2,425.
So do you think they're going to try to overturn
I'm sure
that?
people are saying that for sure. People are saying that in subsequent years they'll change it or whatever. But right now, what passed is that he is funding school, increasing funding for schools for 400 for the next 400 years.
I wonder what the increase is going to entail. Is that a pay raise for the teachers, possibly?
It's just per pupil spending. So just
right.
It may lead to more teachers, it may lead to more resources, it may, it depends on
Good.
each
More
individual
time
school,
spent
right?
on students.
Yeah, that's right.
classrooms.
Right. Maybe after school programs, who knows? But it's just an increase in per
Good
pupil
job,
spending.
Tony Evers. Whatever you did something. You're trying to get that next election in 6 years.
Well, he used to be the state superintendent of schools, so he knows how important education is, right? And I mean, educators have been wringing their hands for years about the cuts in funding from the state legislature, and I don't know why they think that this is okay, but whatever. I mean, they have their reasoning. But another thing that happened is more locally, the Common Council is considering a vote on a new tax for the city of Milwaukee. Did you know this?
What kind of tax are they giving
They
us now?
want to increase the sales tax.
Wow.
You didn't know this, did you?
No,
really. They want to increase the sales tax. I think it's
they're trying to match up to
5% or something like that is our county tax or city 5%. Tax. I don't know what the city tax. I'll go back and look at that. So forgive me for not being prepared to know that. But they want to propose a 2% increase.
Wow.
In the sales tax.
7% taxes now.
Something like that. I'll go back and look it up. But Milwaukee residents, when they found out about this, they showed up to the meeting, the common council meeting, and they were like, "Hell to the no!"
Y'all increasing their property taxes already.
Well, right, and people can't afford anything. Everything is expensive. I mean, the price of eggs has gone down and all that, gas and all that. It's gone down, but it's still.
But still, you had to pay for it when it was increased, and now you're still trying to make up.
Right. Well, exactly, and people's savings are drained now.
Yes.
It's just, and wages aren't really going up.
And people want to still try to live a whole life, so they're still trying to make things happen, but it gets hard out there for a pimp.
It sure is. So
trying to make the money for the rent.
And I'm motivated because the state legislature has tried to tie all of these other motives into the shared revenue agreement around, how much they sent to the states. They want to kill programs that increase diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the Republican-led assembly is like, okay, so we'll give y'all the money if you don't force people to take be a part of diversity and inclusion initiatives. That means no training about what it means to be diverse and equitable, no identifying certain individuals or groups that promotes, inclusion or equity, or anything that's based on people's race or color or ancestry or sexual orientation. No funding if you are being very specific about supporting certain groups.
Wow. So no LGBT schools.
Right.
So no funding if you have a learning disability school.
That's right. So, or no funding if you are saying we will give preferential contracts to, or we give preference to minority-led businesses or businesses led by women, or whatever. So they're saying we will give you this money if you kill those programs because they are frivolous, and it is woke indoctrination. So we'll give you money. So people are. I mean, I don't know if that's what the city residents came out to speak out against, but people are. At least the Common Council they're saying yeah, we see you, we see what you're trying to do, and these programs are important. Milwaukee is one of the most segregated cities in the country, and we need to continue to address race and diversity and inclusion. So y'all can kiss our ass. But anyway, I digress. So I'm motivated by people's turnout and being aware of what's going on in our governments. And we can talk about what's going on all across the country, because there's some shit y'all know. If you've been paying any attention to what's going on, history is being made every day this year. And
I'm trying not to even think about it If you think about it too long, you'll start getting depressed.
I know. So,
You'll
but
start going to a plantation.
Seriously, but we still have something to be motivated by here
We
in
do.
Wisconsin.
We
so
do.
I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yay, we showing our blue side in a purple state. You know what that means, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We're showing how democratic we
Yes,
are.
we are progressive.
I'm a
Progressive.
liberal.
Cool. So that's my motivation moment.
Well, like every show, we have to download.
Of course.
It's time to. The speaker sounds so funny in the new space here in our new room. So we're talking about our 5 favorite movies or what we're watching on TV now, what shows we're watching on today's episode of Downloading to Lead.
Keeping it light and fun and cute.
Yeah, we're not going to get into anything political.
Not too much, a little bit. I was wondering.
Yeah, because that's supposed to help if we're not coming out the cup. It does, because now you can pull it all the way out. If you turn it around.
I thought it was telling me, like, okay, you're not supposed to put your lips lower than this hump right here.
No, that stops the straw from coming all the way out the cup, crazy.
Okay.
She's finished with her master's in this.
Master's number 2.
There you go.
And I don't know how to use
a cup.
With
It's okay.
Weird straw. Anyway.
So, yeah, Shauna, what are you watching? You barely watch TV, so the fact that we are having this conversation is really Beyonce Fox me.
That's hilarious.
It's
but
beyond me.
So I'm gonna give a little context. So I've seen some things, but I've seen some things, some good things, and I want to talk about that. But,
I've seen some things.
Have you read anything about the writer's strike?
Yes, I've heard about it. I've seen it all over TV. It's been jokes and everything about it.
Right. So
that's why SNL hasn't come on.
That's right. So the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers, they've been negotiating their pay over mainly streaming residuals.
I was going to say it's HBO Max.
Yeah, so it's like these writers are like, look, you all don't give us nearly as much as we deserve when these streaming shows come out.
Are the Tyler Perry Studios writers on strike too?
I wonder. I mean, I think all writers are part of this. Yeah. It's like their union.
We stand
the
with the writers
Guild, right? It's
I do too because they make TV.
Did you know Tyler Perry owns BET now?
I heard he's in negotiations. I don't think
he doesn't own it yet.
Deal.
Okay.
I don't think he thinks the deal.
Did.
It doesn't go into effect until 2024.
He better do something about them BET awards. Anyway.
I don't.
Oh my God! What Lord Jesus? Okay. Anyway, I'm not about to be anti-black today. I didn't watch it. I saw things about it. I read things about it. Anyway. So there's a writer strike, and then also there is a potential Hollywood union strike. So the Writers Guild represents the writers of the show. The Hollywood Union represents the actors and performers of the shows.
Okay.
So they're in negotiation right now about their contracts, and there's a potential for them to strike and really soon. So that means nothing.
There is money out there for it.
Well, right.
These studios get millions of dollars.
And that's why the Writers Guild is like, come on, y'all, like be serious. And they're worried about the infiltration of AI in writing shows, and they're worried about streaming services. And
you can tell an AI, hey, write a funny script.
Well, do you think it's just as funny as when a human writes it?
No, because but it can have a lot of
it could be a beginning to a good show, but
what the scary part of AI is that everybody using AI is contributed to this mainframe of knowledge and information that this system has. So where the story or the sitcom may have not been funny in April, now in June, July, that it's been getting so much data, it possibly could be.
Okay, well,
have you ever used an AI?
I've used Bard.
I use Chat
Google,
AI.
And I've seen ChatGPT.
I use ChatGPT.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not that impressed. I mean, I think
I was impressed.
I mean, it's cool or whatever. Like,
Are you not impressed? Because like, I'm not going to be impressed by this.
well, I think it's just a little more curated than a Google search. So that's what I understand about it. Like, I see it just takes whatever. Like, if you Google, um, you know, essay about Wuthering Heights or something like that, and it'll just give you maybe people who wrote it, and like you go to their website and they have
Who is a whole bunch of paid ads now?
who is Google?
Google.
Yeah, right. And so Google is just kind of a mess, and like you know, the results are just all over the place. And Chat GPT is kind of like essay about Wuthering Heights, and they might write an essay about it, you know,
Yeah.
because they know about what the story is about. So it might not be that good though, but it gives you the a plot summary about the novel or whatever, and it just so it helps you that
And
way.
all you go in is change a couple words,
Yeah.
and it's yours.
Right, exactly. So, and with Google, they might lead you to Spark Notes. So then you got to still read Spark Notes and then decide how to put it in a certain order. But then ChatGPT's got it there for you. So I get it. I mean, I see why it's useful for some
Mhm.
people, but it's still missing like voice and creativity to me. I think it
Was it a
still
movie?
lacks a little bit of something. Did you
Was
say
this about a movie or a show?
Oh, we're talking about the writer strike. Okay, so anyway, the writer strike. They're
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm on
bring it
a
back.
whole bunch of cold medication, so I'm like,
So anyway, they are worried about
allergy.
you know the artificial intelligence and
Okay.
how it may take over writers' jobs or whatever. That's part of the negotiations and like
Losing
know.
our jobs.
Right. So there are some shows that are going to be on hold for a while because of this strike. And as you know, there are a lot of shows wrapped up, and then there are a lot of shows that aren't even on TV anymore because there are no writers. You know, there's been an influx of like reality shows that are on television because they don't really take writers. You need cameramen or whatever.
Production.
Yeah, production, but really not writers. So a lot of the late night talk shows are out. But there's a few shows that I wonder if you care that they're not going to
Let's
be back.
go. Fire them off.
Abbott Elementary,
Yes, I care. I know they're going to be on the writer's strike.
American Dad,
Not so much.
not really. American Horror Story,
Yes.
Euphoria,
Yes.
Family Guy,
Yes.
House of the Dragon,
Mm,
Big Mouth,
mm,
Cobra Kai,
mm,
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which was a Game of Thrones spinoff,
mm,
Jeopardy,
mm.
all of the late night talk shows. Daily Show, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Tonight Show, Late
White
Night.
White man. Sorry. No.
Last week tonight, John Oliver, Real Time with Bill Maher.
No.
Okay, Power Book 2, Go Season 4. Power Book 3, Raising Cain. Okay, P Valley.
Yes, I know they're striking.
Rap Shit.
No, watch it.
Rings of Power.
Yes, love it.
Saturday Night Live.
Yes, freaking love it.
Stranger Things.
Yes, freaking love it.
Handmaid's Tale final season.
Yes, freaking love it.
The Last of Us. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Uncoupled.
Yes, loved it. I'm mad it's moving from
It moved from Showtime
to Max.
Oh, was it?
It was Showtime, yeah.
The Upshaws.
I don't watch it, but I heard it's a wonderful show.
Yeah.
My boyfriend laughs every time he watches it, so yes, I'm sad.
Sorry about the Upshaws. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of other ones too, but like I haven't heard of like half of the shows, but I thought those were the ones that you might care about. So those are all going to be on pause because of.
Well, good thing I watch a lot of UK shows now. Maybe the UK people aren't going to be on strike.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I guess you could.
I watch a lot of international shows.
Okay, well maybe that's a remedy for people who miss their shows. So I've been watching some shows that, before they got impacted by the writer strike. There were new shows that came out.
What you watch?
My top 5 shows that I watched this year. Okay, number 1, Succession.
Have not watched it. Keep seeing previews of it.
I know people
I started it, but it was like, wow.
I know people say that it's like a bunch of like wealthy white people.
And it's about generational wealth, right?
It is. I thought it was fascinating. I really did. I thought it was well written and the acting was superb. So that's why I liked it. I don't care if they were rich white people. It was still good.
Rich white people are just people with different skin colors.
That's right.
I just don't like the late night talk shows that I cannot identify with.
My
There we
second show that I watched that I loved was Beef on Netflix.
Yes, I loved Beef.
Was it
Beef was so good.
So
Did I
good.
tell you to watch Beef? I think I did.
I don't know, probably, but it was so good.
I think we can roll the tapes back, and I told you to watch it.
Probably, but it was really good. So Ali Wong and all that entire cast
That was
just
so
fantastic. It was really
nice.
good. It was well written.
It's been a lot of Asian-led shows lately.
Oh yeah, well that's good. There's
And as
another
an Asian
American
male,
Born
I
Chinese. I
really-
heard as an Asian.
As a Polynesian Asian male, indigenous male, I really
You're
want.
Filipino.
I'm indigenous. You know, you're indigenous too.
Yes,
Black
I
people are
do.
considered
I know that.
indigenous.
I
Okay.
agree. The third, my number 3 show. I don't know if this came out in 2023 or just ended. Is The Peripheral on Amazon Prime. It was really good. It was
Did
about
not watch
it was
it.
set in the future. It's kind of like a dystopian show. Really good. I know it's like low.
Dystopian.
Yeah.
Child.
So it was good. I love that one. Swarm on Amazon Prime.
Loved it. Thought I was gonna hate it, but freaking loved
Yep.
Swarm.
Yep, Swarm.
Loved it.
And I don't even know why this is on my
Smart
list.
as AF.
It was so good. And the acting. Oh my god.
And to know that it was a true story made fictional.
Yes. Right.
But changed the whole thing
Right.
to wonderful Donald Glover. Wonderful job.
That's right. He did do that one.
Yes.
I know. That's why I
wonderful
loved
job.
it. And I feel like it kind of got.
Shadow.
Honestly, I'm sorry, y'all. I've said this before, but the Beyonce standing is too much sometimes.
And I think that was what the movie was
it's
a
like
satire about.
it's too much.
That's what the
sometimes.
satire was
It was
about.
rampant and unchecked. Okay, like everybody needs to chill for real.
That's what the movie was supposed to
I mean, this woman
be
is a
about.
human being. She bleeds just like we bleed. She eats and
She
sleeps.
does not care about these people that care about her.
So, and I think
Not like that, but she cannot possibly know you, my
right,
friend.
right,
So you
and people talk about her like she, oh my God, our queen, our God, our this, and it's like, okay, we need to just reel it in a little bit.
I like Beyonce, but I'm not a stan. Like, I went to Minnesota Pride, and girl, all they did was play Beyonce.
I'm sure.
They took my soul. Instead of breaking it, they took it.
And I mean, listen, I think she's fantastic. I think she has
Wonderful
done some
craft.
really amazing things. Genius, all of those things. But there is some commentary on like how we see celebrity, how we deal with celebrity in maybe particularly Black culture, but in
No,
America?
Taylor Swift, no.
oh yeah, no,
You can't just
right.
give that to us now. The Swifties are much
Yeah.
worse than the
You think
Beehive.
so?
Baby, bye.
Okay,
The Swifties actually, girl,
okay,
the Swifties actually were, girl,
I
the
didn't think about
Swifties
that.
cut up.
they do, I suppose. I didn't think about that.
Today we're drinking tequila and cold medicine, allergy medicine. Thanks to Sean.
There is no allergy medicine mixed in my cocktail.
It's mixed in me.
So let me tell you this show that I watched. I don't know if I really liked it very much. It's still kind of processing with me.
Okay.
But it's gotten such bad criticism.
What?
It stars The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp.
The
It's
Idol?
called The Idol.
I tried to watch it. I could not get into it.
I was trying to see the deeper points of what it was showing us, similar to what Swarm was showing us. So I thought that it was going to be this commentary about celebrity culture and, whatever. But it just ended up being like, I don't know. I'm still mulling over it, but
The best thing I think to come out that movie was the Game's body transformation because it was so.
the game.
I mean, the Weeknd's body transformation because it was like encouraging for me.
They didn't show his body.
Like his a whole new campaign
Oh,
was just about
I
his
see.
new physique.
Oh,
and how he
really?
looks different. He's changing his name.
Is he?
Yeah,
He's going by his real name or whatever.
what's it?
Abel,
Abel.
Tass, or whatever.
Something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, everybody talked about how terrible his acting was, but I'm telling you, when his acting was good was when he looked high. He did very well looking like a drug addict. That's for sure.
Well, you know who he reminds me of, and he needs to do this movie, Basquiat.
Interesting.
I think if he did that movie, I think he'll be wonderful.
Yeah, they probably should think about what kind of roles he plays. He was like a pimp cult leader in this one, and I don't know if that was right for him.
Maybe I need to get into it if it's about a call.
It's only so apparently they cut it short because it was people just criticized it too much. So it was like 5 episodes instead of 6.
Oh wow! So I
Something
really
like that.
don't.
Yeah,
It
so
was
they
that bad.
yeah, and I don't think they're gonna renew it. But it was just
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
people didn't like it. It was a lot. It was a lot going on in that movie. It was over sexualized, and it was just
Yeah, I thought the first beginning I couldn't get into it.
It was a lot
like,
going
okay, I don't want to see this woman in her white fragility cry and act. And
yeah.
it was just too much.
I mean, I would imagine that they knew that the people in the show, because there were like, it wasn't just actors. These were really musicians, like Moses Sumner was in
Yeah.
it, and people who are really singers are in it. So, and The Weeknd, of course, has been in the industry for a while. So I would imagine they have something to say about the industry that
They really
I'm
can't
interested
say.
in, right? Like they
Yeah.
probably have seen it, and so they were giving some commentary that they have a direct connection to. But it was a lot. And then, so that's it. That's my 5. Some shows that I haven't finished that I thought were good was Dave. Did you ever watch Dave? The white rapper, Lil Dicky.
No.
Have you seen I'm a Virgo, the new Boots Riley show?
No.
He did Sorry to Bother You.
I'm a Taurus, so no.
Okay, you should watch it. It's
Are you a
about
Virgo?
I'm a Pisces.
So why are you watching it? It's for Virgos only. No, I'm joking.
Abbott Elementary is on my list. I watch most
Love
of it.
it.
It's good.
So fun.
Even though I get a little annoyed about how exaggerated it is sometimes, like about like what goes on in schools. It's
That's
like,
because you're a
okay, girl.
teacher.
Yeah, and then The Last of
But they're
Us.
giving life to teachers, and this is the
I
biggest
know,
show
you're
about
right.
teachers
And I think it
ever.
did start a dialogue about teachers.
How about teachers getting paid more?
That's
because
right.
of Abbott
Yeah,
Elementary?
she's on that. Yeah, she says that a lot. So yeah, that's my download.
Wonderful download, Shana.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I got the whole theme wrong. I thought we were supposed to talk about like our favorites of all time, not just this year.
Oh, well, let's take that angle. I like that angle.
Of this year too.
There were no parameters on our discussion.
Okay, you said this year at the top of the conversation. But no, I think I told you I want you to watch this if you're not doing anything tonight. I don't know why I keep grabbing this mic. Like I'm about to sit and talk, and
we're trying to get adjusted to our new home.
Our new studio. Jury Duty.
Oh yeah, I saw that I was looking at that.
Watch it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it transformed me for the summer. Like it really has me thinking and acting a different way.
Okay.
Did I tell you what it's about?
So I think I know. Isn't he is on a jury, but he doesn't know that it's all fake.
He's in an experiment, a social experiment
Okay.
about how someone will act with all this stuff going on around him.
Okay.
And he applied for this. This is like something he saw in like the newspaper. I don't want to tell you too much because at the end it is so beautiful,
Okay.
like tear worthy.
Really.
Like if this could win an Emmy, I really wish it's nominated for an Emmy because it's so.
It's just
good.
one season.
It's one season.
Okay.
It's so heartfelt. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's like. It's everything. I'm telling you, it's a great show. Jury Duty on Freevee, on anything. Roku TV, I think it's on.
Okay.
Amazon Prime. It's really good.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies ever is 13 Going on 30.
Oh,
Jennifer
yeah,
Garner.
yes, that's a good movie.
Only because it's like so nostalgic for me.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like where I live and like and act and like I don't know, like always thinking of the future, always wishing I could go back in the past and things like that. So that's one of my favorite movies. And then the show on on Netflix, Sense8.
What's that? Oh, like SENSE?
Like Sense8, yeah.
Okay.
And it's about these people that have the same, it's like an extra chromosome. I haven't watched it in so long, but it's so good. And they're all connected through like their senses and they can like sense each stuff and like you're a teacher, so if I'm in a situation where I need some knowledge, I can tap into your senses and I can start to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm like charismatic and you need a little, charm or something, you can tap into mine and you can have that. It's so many seasons, but it's so good. It is wonderful. Sense8 is so dynamic. It ended wonderfully, but really good.
Okay.
The Color Purple, of course.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they
Of
have a new
course.
depiction coming out in December, which I'm kind of on the fence about, but the All Star cast is wonderful.
Okay.
So I'm going to watch that. And then I just watched something, finished it yesterday or the day before, Silo
Hmm.
on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of good shows coming up.
Oh my God.
Silo.
Silo. It's
Okay.
about these people that live in this silo, and it is wonderful. Um, what is Quincy Jones' daughter's name?
Rashida.
Rashida Jones is in there. It is so excellently done. I like shows like that where we're forced to live in some apocalyptic time. We're forced to live in
Hmm.
a silo or on a.
Dystopian is what I
That's
call
the
it.
word, dystopian. That's
Yeah,
what you said
that's what I said
before.
about purple. Like
Hmm.
dystopian. Like it's set in the future usually.
This is that they don't know anything about like what a past thing is. It's called a relic.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's so dope. It's really good. So if you don't have anything to do tonight or tomorrow, watch the shows that me and Shauna have freaking told you about because they're gonna be good shows.
Because it's not easy to find a good show.
My
I feel
mic
like
is off.
is it?
Hey
Uh
Tone.
oh.
Oh, I think I may have done it. I did. I turned my mic
Oh,
off.
look at you. See?
Tone didn't do it, but I know. Shauna's mic picked it up, hopefully.
You're
If
gonna sound distant.
I was talking loud.
Um, it is really hard to find a good show sometimes. I
It
think.
is very hard to find a good show.
Yeah,
Like
it
you will
is.
flip
But
all
there's so
night.
many shows. There's so many streaming services. You got
So
Prime, you got
many.
Apple TV, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got
I have BritBox. I have
oh, you have TikTok.
Masterpiece TV.
What? Yeah, all that
Yes,
stuff.
and I watch all of them,
You are
especially
hilarious.
BritBox. Father Brown is the best show.
You got Tubi?
I, if Tubi's free, everybody should have Tubi.
I do not have Tubi.
Well, download it. It's free.
Why? Why
There
should I
are some
download
good
it?
shows on Tubi, and then there are some good black-made movies that are good. But a lot of the Tubi movies are very low budget and underacted. But shout out to everybody on Tubi doing their stuff and making movies because our culture needs it, and it's so dope to watch all those cultures on there make different kind of movies and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll try it. I'll try
Yeah,
it. Maybe I'll make myself a Tubi movie.
Silo
Anyway,
was really good though.
good. I like that download. I'm gonna try all those shows. Have you watched any good movies?
I'm really not a movie person. I did watch a movie, um, Extraction 2
Mm,
on Netflix. It was
okay.
pretty good.
Okay.
I did watch this series and a couple of movies. For the Boys, it's a teen movie. Anytime you feel bad, you're supposed to like watch a teen movie or something like that.
Okay. Are they
Because teen
inspiring?
antics just take you back in time and transport you back when you were a kid. It's not too much. It's kind of like stuff you can like reflect on. So it's not anything that's gonna be too much. You're like, oh, okay, I remember when I was in high school, I did that.
I'm gonna have to take that advice. I love that.
Yes. Watch a
Um,
teen movie or something.
Have you heard about the movie The Blackening?
I have. I heard it's really good too.
It's hilarious.
You watched
It's
it?
silly. I watched it last night.
What's it on?
You gotta buy it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I don't buy movies. They're gonna come on for free next week.
Well, and yeah, and to rent it was still like going to the movie. I was like, okay, y'all. But I
They
mean,
bring
who
popcorn
mind?
in your door?
Right. I don't mind giving to certain causes. I mean, I think it was like a black director and it's like an all black cast.
He already got his money. You gave that money to Jeff Bezos. Ain't that Jeff Bezos? Amazon?
Right. You're right about that. I forgot about
You gave
that.
that money to him and his wife. His
But-
ex-wife.
Right. But it was good. I mean, it's got like a lot of little black culture references in there that are hilarious. So yeah.
I have to take that into
Yeah,
consideration.
check that one out. And have you seen the movie with Tiana Taylor?
Yes.
What you think?
Wonderful movie.
Isn't it?
Wonderful movie. I was like, I don't want to watch no movie with Tiana Taylor. I ate those words, Tiana.
I know that's
I
right,
hate those
girl. You
words.
did that, girl.
It was a wonderful movie. She was the perfect person for it.
She was.
It fit her really well.
That's right. That's right. And it
Really
told
well.
multiple stories. It was layers to that movie.
For that to be the ending, I was just like, wow.
I mean, that's
And then
something-
for it not to even matter to him, I was just
Oh my
like,
God.
wow.
I know. Don't tell them. Don't no spoilers.
But people need to know that it's just about love and nurture. It's really not about
Mhm.
anything else.
I love that movie. Watch it. She better win an Oscar for this one.
So let's get into our questions, Shauna.
All
How
right.
about that?
I got a few questions for you today.
All right. Well, my question is, name something that this is my mild question.
Okay.
Name something that you've recently eaten that you cannot wait to have again.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Why do you want to have it again? Did you make it like was it homemade popcorn or
Yes,
was it?
like I use avocado oil. I pop it on the stove, and I put nutritional yeast on it and butter. And I can't wait to have it again. It's so freaking delicious.
It sounds good.
It's
Nutritional
so good.
yeast is nothing but powder.
It's got B vitamins.
Yeah.
What did you expect me to say? Scallops or something?
I thought you were going to say the arepa.
Oh, that was so freaking good. You are right, but you know what?
It was so good, like the beans and
It was so good, but Zocalo can kiss my ass. Like that whole establishment is they're rude there. I don't like it.
My boyfriend just said the same thing.
They rude as hell. So I don't know if it's like they're rude to certain people or
they don't do it to me.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I feel like there's maybe some sense of entitlement they have. I don't really understand it. But and I've
You
heard
talking in
this-
that area, the food truck vendors?
No, not the food truck vendors were a little questionable. Like whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that. But the people in the bar, no, thank you.
To the bar.
No, thank you. I'm not going there. I'm not going into the bar. I will go and get that arepa again because that arepa was fantastic.
Go to the MKE, the old Grand Avenue.
Oh yeah, I heard about the food hall.
But I had an issue with them too.
Oh really? What's up with the service industry in Milwaukee?
It took Anytime Arepa so long. First of all, I was a fan of Anytime Arepa before they got their before they expanded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that they got this expansion because the owners are lovely people.
Mm-hmm.
I went to get my food at the Milwaukee, what's it called, the MKE Market place.
Yeah, the public hall.
Public marketplace, yeah. And I ordered my arepa. The girl's standing there, and it's like, and then I ordered the arepa, then I went around to the taco place and I ordered a chicken taco. Because I was like, arepas don't really fill you up like that. You be like, I need a chip or something after that. They're good, they're filling, but they're not gonna.
It's not a complete meal.
It's not a complete meal, and you always feel like, I need something else.
Can I get a side of beans?
So I went to get some tacos. The man made my tacos fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for my Anytime Arepa buzzer to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing went off.
Yeah.
So I would just say they need to increase. They probably need to have two people cooking back there to make stuff go fast because people go down there on their lunch break. People go down there really quick to grab something. If people are in there really quick, I think food service needs to. If you can drive through McDonald's in 5 seconds, if Chick-fil-A can get you in and out their line in less than 10 minutes,
like
less than 5 minutes,
of service,
I don't understand why can't nobody else do it.
So what do we?
If Culver's, first of all, let me say this: I had an issue with Culver's on Miller Parkway. I ordered my food. This has never happened to me, and I ordered a cooler. Have you ever had one of those coolers? I ordered a cooler. Mm-hmm. The little boy bring me my food. I'm like, where my cooler at? He was like, oh, somebody else gonna bring it out to you.
You waited for about 10 minutes, didn't you?
And you know me. I told God, I said, God, if I gotta get out this car, I'm going to act a monkey. Some say, get out that car. I got up that car. I walked in there, and the look on my face must have told the manager. He instantly was like, what's going on? What's the problem? But it was some little workers back there, a little scruffy-looking Caucasian boy, white boy. And he must have found my situation funny. Or he thought, like, oh, he gave us laugh. Ha, 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 ha. It's just a joke. So everything in me wanted to rake him with the register. I wanted to grab him by his collar. I wanted to grab him and his friends by his collar and just rake his ass on that collar. Yeah. But I would have been in jail. I'm 40-something years old. He a kid working here serving my food.
Right. It's a lot of kids working.
Why would I act an ignorant fool? So what I did was got my receipt, friend, and left a nasty survey.
Yeah, see, I was just about to say, what do you do when you receive poor service like that? Are you supposed to leave a Google review or something?
I usually do a Yelp review, a Google review, or I'll do the survey. Did the survey. The manager emailed me back
Mm-hmm.
and said, I apologize wholeheartedly. We're in the process of training new staff. You know, people say one thing in an interview and they get on the floor and they be a different thing.
That's right.
I would love to make this experience better
That's
for you.
good.
Come in. I came in Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know she was going to be at work because I went in so late. I went in about 7 something. Her name was Hannah. Shout out to her. I ordered some food. It was another manager training somebody else. She was wonderful too. I don't know her name. I wish I would have did it because she was wonderful. The training girl was wonderful. The vibe in there was so different.
Yeah.
It was good. I was like, okay, this is good energy. It's a good vibe. The staff was like joking and having fun with each other. A girl was finna get off and she was like, no, don't go. And I was like, oh, you know, it's good vibes. Because you know, they don't want you to leave. It's good vibes. Anyway, make a long story short, she was like pointing them out.
Oh, really?
I was like, okay, girl, you sure you want me to point him out?
He was there.
He was there. Girl, I know he knew he did wrong because he couldn't take his eyes off of me. He knew he did wrong. Everything in me wanted to tell him, little boy, you so lucky. Because when I'm frustrated like that, I really go off. I really hawk out. But I'm trying to change and be a different person. I'm glad I didn't hawk out. I left a bad review, got some good service, got a free meal, a free ice cream cone when I come back because I paid for my food that time because I know she was there. Anyway, the situation was so beautiful. Check out Culver's Miller Parkway. Get your food. The manager Hannah is awesome. Go to Culver's Parkway.
That's nice how, I mean, because it's interesting how a bad experience in an establishment can really have an effect on you, like have a negative effect. And
I was never gonna go back there.
Right, it just like ruins. It can just like ruin because I think I don't even know why it has. No, I don't think so. I feel like it's on. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it can have a negative effect on you, maybe because you're like you are trusting people to take care of your whatever needs you have at the moment, and then they like don't do it, and I don't know what it is about that that's so harmful. But sometimes it's just like a little gesture from someone who will acknowledge what you went through makes things better.
And I thanked her. I said, thank you for even replying. That rectified the situation for her even replying and taking the time out because I'm sure she probably was like, hold on, why I got these ones on my survey? Hold up, this affected me. So I retook the survey and gave her excellent, reviews and ratings because I think she did a really good job.
That's good. Okay.
So you said popcorn. Mine is what would I want to eat again that I've recently eaten? I got some pizza that I've never got from Marco's Pizza. Have you ever had Marco's Pizza?
Oh yeah,
it was really good. I went to the one on Hampton. National.
Okay.
Greenfield, but it was good. National, but it was good.
Okay.
The service there was excellent. It smelled wonderful in there, but it would be that. What's your medium? Let me hear your regular.
Now you got me thinking I should have had. I had a bunch of good meals that I could have talked about, but whatever. I'm gonna stick with my.
We can do a full review show next time.
Seriously, okay. My regular question is it better to be able? We just got off the subject, but is it better to be able to stream movies at home or to go to the movie theater to see them?
I'm an at-home type of person. If I gotta go to the movie theater, I'm like, I cannot stay. I can stay, keep what I got on, which is probably in my own home without hearing a baby cry.
Yeah.
People talking in my own home, which is probably going to be the detriment of us. Hold on.
They turned up.
So I would say, at home. What about you? You like going to the movie for the experience?
I mean, it's nice to be able to just kind of hang out on the couch and chill out and drink wine and whatever, but it's also nice to go and get some of that good fake butter.
Hear it in surround.
Look at that big ass screen, and sometimes it's 3D movies if it's Marvel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just like go out, get out.
Buy a bigger TV.
Yeah. Have you seen these big ass TVs that take up the entire wall practically?
Do you know that Mayweather has 72-inch? Well, I think it's bigger than 72 inches. I think it's like 172. It's like he has the biggest TVs in his house I have ever seen. He was like, "Oh, I got the biggest TVs there. I need them everywhere." So big.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what are y'all looking at?
I think people say that you don't know that you need it until you get it because it's just like
It is
showing.
a different
Yeah, it's
experience.
different, right? So I don't know.
Like, hey, the people are here with me.
So maybe that would be better to watch the movie now, just as good as the movie. Is, right?
Maybe.
That's my regular question.
All right. My next question is, um, are you smart, or do you know smart people who told you things that you remembered?
Hmm. Well, my memory's not as good as it used to be, so I think I'm just smart.
But muscle memory, but you were
Oh,
taught.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I would say the second because I think what makes me intelligent is my intuition, which I feel like I got from other people.
I agree.
Like I don't know if it's about remembering facts and information so much as it is about like having good intuition.
Being able to recall situations at
Or
any
just
time.
or the expression being able to peep game, you know that
Mhm.
expression?
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes it intelligent.
I want to mention another movie, Dolores Roach, The Horror of Dolores Roach on Amazon Prime. I just finished the series in one day.
Putting that on my list too.
When I tell you, Shauna, that was so good. I don't know the Latino actress's name, but she did wonderful in that. It's
Okay.
a six episode series, The Horror of Dolores Roach.
Okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful series.
That's Netflix, you said?
Amazon Prime.
Okay. I'll put that on my list. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, what's your next question?
Okay.
Did I answer that question?
Yeah, no, you didn't answer.
What was
Are you smart or are you smart
I
because
think I'm smart because I talk to myself too much not to be smart. Like sometimes I have to teach myself because I don't understand what the teacher was talking about. So a lot of times I have to teach myself the information I need to know.
I think you're smart too. I
Thank
would agree with
you.
that. Well, my medium question is, you'll sense the theme here. Um, if your life was really like the movie The Truman Show, did you see that one with Jim Carrey?
Unfortunately.
And you got on the boat and made it through the storm to the end of the set,
Mm-hmm.
would you leave or would you stay in the show? Now, this is your life. It's not like that movie.
And find out that it was all a TV show.
Yeah, would you leave or would you just be like, I'm cool here. I like this life.
Watch Jury Duty.
That does not answer my question because I have not seen it. Okay. That's all. That's your final answer.
Watch Jury Duty.
Okay.
You want Tyler's response? Tyler, I gave my whole government. Tom, can we edit that out? No, I'm joking. If you want Tyler's response, watch Jury Duty.
Okay. All right.
Because it's kind of a reality show about the same thing. The Truman Show was kind of like puzzles on a wall. I had to decipher, like, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I would. I would want to see what's out there.
You want to stay?
I mean, I would miss my life. You know what I mean? But because he wanted to go, he hated his life. I mean, it was awful. But he kind of caught on to what was going on, so that's why he wanted to leave. So yeah, I think I would want to see what's out there too. I'd be like Truman. You got a hot question?
I do. My hot question is, and I only have a hot question.
Me too.
Name something your family expected from you that you didn't. Name something your family expected from you to do, but you didn't do, and it was a disappointment. Or you thought it was going to be a disappointment.
Have a big wedding.
Have a big wedding.
Didn't have a big wedding. I eloped.
And your family didn't care. Like,
they were disappointed. You mean
they were?
Yeah, they were.
Oh.
Yep. I know. I missed something.
I thought of that question because I was watching something on TV, and the woman was marrying. It was Father Brown actually.
Okay.
And she was like, I didn't want to be a disappointment, so I married my husband.
Oh, and it wasn't a disappointment. Oh.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't want to be a disappointment, so I married my husband. But she didn't love him. She loved somebody else.
Oh.
So she just married her husband because she was pregnant.
And they loved him.
They loved her husband because he was well off, but she didn't love him. She was in love with somebody else.
Okay.
She just happened to get pregnant by him.
Interesting.
And she was like, I couldn't disappoint my family and just not have a father for my baby, so I had to marry him. I'm like, I wonder how many families are still living from that curse.
Interesting.
That's what I said. Okay.
So is that your, do you have an answer? Did your family, did you do something that people thought would be a disappointment and wasn't?
Probably me being gay was probably the thing I thought was gonna be like the biggest disappointment. My family was like, we knew that already. Oh well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought my family was gonna be disappointed that I was pregnant at 22 and I was still in college. And they were like, "Oh, you're never gonna finish school." And then they ended up loving my daughter as, I mean, like more. The campus, he was walking around pregnant. I was seriously, I sure was. And then she came, and she was like the center of the family, you know, when she was born. So, you know, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Why don't
That's to teach these kids, hey, little girl, if you're pregnant, tell your mama.
Right.
Tell her, because she gonna be disappointed.
She might be a little salty, but she'll get over it.
She gonna get over it when she sit down and think like, oh, I'm
gonna love that baby so much.
Like grandma.
Mm-hmm. Right. No matter what age you are.
That was my hot question.
So I got a hot question. That's it.
Okay.
So, you know, I got to talk about politics a little bit because so much going on. So, you know, the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action, race-based admissions policy this week. So Harvard and what was the other school? Was it University of North Carolina, maybe, or one of those schools? Here's the thing: why do these schools have to have this in place anyway? Yeah, right. So so my question is: do you think colleges should still be able to consider race as a factor for college admissions, or should they not be able to consider race as a factor? I think if you want a diverse group of people to learn from each other, it has to be a mixed crowd. There has to be some affirmative action to be affirmed and say, hey, we want a diverse outlook on things. And don't want people to be so scared of them dispelling affirmative action, because there could be a definite big caveat to that. Mm-hmm. There could be opportunities in that for minorities that wasn't available because of the minority action clauses in some people's contracts, what I could say. Mm-hmm. In regards to funding, in regards to they didn't say you can't be diverse in your hiring process or don't be diverse. And I think most companies now are. They say you can't consider race as a factor. I think most companies are going to the diverse because they don't want to have, because most companies they're trying to gear towards their consumers. So if you have a college like Yale, and now it's all white people that's going there, but historically, the black people from Yale have been blowing up and doing big things. They're not going to revert back to the old ways. Mm-hmm. So maybe it'll be more money at Yale for the minority programs now, because they contractually couldn't give it because we have to have this in place in order for the government to give us this, because that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I wonder if it's as disastrous as it seems, you know, because maybe we will either figure out other ways to make campuses diverse, like, you know, you consider class and how much money your family makes or whatever instead of race. Or, I mean, some people think that Brown versus the Board of Education, which was the effort to integrate schools, was like the worst thing that could have ever happened to the black community. A lot of black people feel that way too. So I mean, I don't know why they think that. I think they say a lot about how, you know, we lost a lot of black teachers when schools became integrated. There colonial way of thinking. Yeah, a lot of, you know, students experienced racism and marginalization, right, and all this kind of, you know, social emotional. But the thing is, that stuff would have never happened. Right, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have had access, namely Clarence Thomas, who, you know, helped make this decision to eliminate affirmative action, would not have had the same opportunities if he was in a segregated school, right? So, or because of affirmative action, he was able to be in his position. So I think it was a time and place for everything, and I think that was a time for affirmative action. And now, even speaking with you and just actually speaking about it instead of hearing about it, I'm not so. Maybe because I'm in my 40s, I'm not so worried about it. Right. And the company I work for is not an American company. But yeah. I know we have to think about that. Like, you know, we're done with that, with the potential to go to Harvard or wherever, so we don't care. But yeah, it may affect lots of our people. But to think about it, they probably stopped it because they say, like, these people aren't even applying for this grant or this scholarship anymore. So why do we keep offering it? Right. Well, yeah, and I know in California they stopped affirmative action some years ago, and they had trouble recruiting people of color to apply for sure. Yep. So they tried. There were outreach efforts, but it's like, and sometimes people just can't even afford to go to Harvard. So it's like I'm not going to.
But that's gonna hurt that school overall financially.
Yeah.
Harvard School of Acting, Angela Bassett went there.
Right.
A lot of our famous good black actors went to Harvard School of Acting.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure they got in from affirmative action.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
That's
Give it a few years.
Give it a few years.
That's my last question.
Well, like every show, we have to leave something here, Shauna. What are you deleting here today on Download and Delete? Episode 55.
I think I'm going to delete terrible television. Maybe start listening to more things, right? Maybe just more books, right? Now, like life's too short for terrible TV. That's for sure.
Life is too short not to get some terrible TV into me. Good stress reliever. I'm deleting. Not. Oh, I don't want to say this, but I'm deleting the. Everything gonna be okay if I don't know. I'll just keep going on. Like how people be like, "Well, I don't go to the doctor until I'm sick." I want to try to dispel that fact or that thought, that notion. Okay. And just go find out.
I know that's right, because sometimes you can take care of some things once you know knowledge is power.
Right.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to our episode 55. What are you watching?
Watch some more stuff.
Watch some more.
Good stuff.
Read some more.
Yeah.
Love some more. Hug some more. Bye-bye.